It's the 30th of April and Kamino has just launched. People are going to be asking me, what are my plans? Am I selling? What am I doing? I'm just going to quickly go through them. I've already covered this in today's daily alpha. This is just like a standalone video. So Kamino Liquidity is now live with DYOR and Kamino. We can go and add to a vault. Of course, permanent loss risk is always the case. And what you can do is you can actually go and claim your Kamino if you're actually eligible. Or of course, if you're not eligible, you can go and buy some if you're king. So I already did the claim and I should have shown you on camera, but I didn't. Basically, Phantom wallet, once again, just legendary. Popped into this wallet and it just takes you straight there. And then I just claimed it. Just so easy. They just make it so easy. So here, I don't actually think in this tutorial account I've got anything. Got a little bit of INF in the borrow and lend market, earning a small number of points. So this is a tutorial wallet. We'll go into it and we're going to stake some Kamino, and then I'm actually going to put some Kamino and DYOR into this vault. Now, before we go any further though, let's have a quick look at just swapping Kamino into USDC. It currently has a price point of 4 cents. Pre-market was around 15 to 18 cents, and it's dropped down significantly, which is, to be completely honest, exactly what I was expecting. This is a time right now when it's a very choppy market. It's not a good time to launch, but how much can you actually delay a launch by? Like every time, you actually work out something with Bybit and your launch partners, these things take weeks. You can't say, okay, maybe we just hold off. If it's an NFT launch, it's just done in a completely decentralized way, fine. You can hold off until the price of SOL starts to go up. That's understandable. But something like this, it's far harder. One Kamino worth 4 cents. Now, when you actually go here, you'll actually, if we just type in Kamino, let's see how many tokens we've got. There's so many fake tokens. Fortunately, the actual official one's KMN and then O. And if we click on this link, this will open up in SolScan and we can see the official link here. So I'm just going to go and grab this token address, just copy it like that. And then we can go across to Bird Eye. This is the official one. But once again, if we go back and just type in Kamino, it's really such a shame to see so many people scammed. Like, what is this one? They have $3 million worth of volume. I have no idea how many people are actually buying and selling it. But I mean, this is a fake one. If we have a look at some decent size, they're just buying a fake token. I just want people just to be very mindful and just learn this thing. We're in a bull market. This is the beginning stage of a bull market. Things will get far more exuberant. People are going to just ape into things. And I don't want you to go buy a crappy token that doesn't actually have any value just because someone's smart at creating this. It takes very minimal effort and you just go and launch a liquidity pool and then you just suck people's liquidity just because people aped too quickly. Anyway, so this is this right here. If we look at the real one does have $6.8 million worth of volume, but even still, to have these ones anywhere near that is quite astonishing. Now, the other thing that's common is we're going to see these big things. So as an example, if I jump into my wallet here, I'm probably going to see, if I scroll down and I find Kamino, it's going to show that I've lost like $800 or something. Okay, down $721. The reality is I'm not down anything. It launched at a price that was priced in a little while ago. And as we've shown time and time again, it is the best time to pre-sell your tokens if you can. Because, I mean, I wasn't expecting this kind of drop, but I didn't pre-sell anything because long-term, I think it's worth it. Really, really worth it. Not financial advice, never will be. The other thing to keep in mind, of course, for most countries, it's a taxable event. You get something, you sell it, you pay tax on it. Whereas if you maybe get it, hold it, do what you want with it, hold it for, say, a year, then your taxes may be reduced. Did you just farm this? In which case, maybe you just want to sell it. You want to sell it to the people that are long-term excited for this step. Also, we can't really look at the max total supply and work out the fully diluted market cap because a fully diluted market cap, it's just not valuable. Holders, 27,000, which is great. And I really don't care about this. Let's just have a look at Kamino on CoinGecko. See if we have any price feeds. Bybit, everything's kind of down to that 4 cents realm. And now let's try and work out what is actually the circulating supply. Now we can't actually see what the circulating supply is or what it's expected to be. It hasn't updated there yet. We can have a quick look at CoinMarketCap and see if this is live. Kamino Finance, it probably isn't. It probably needs a little bit of time. This is a lot better actually. So the self-reported circulated supply, so 10%. So when we factor in the fully diluted, it's a high valuation, which we're going to skip. Really, the actual market cap is $40 million. And that to me that's pretty decent. All right, so what is my strategy? I think Kamino is going to do well. I think it's going to do a little bit of an Aave. Not quite the same, but it will bring in quite a bit of attention. If we have a look at Aave and we zoom out, we went from like 20 something dollars all the way up to over 600. This was in the last bull run, and then it's kind of come down. This is a governance token. Aave is probably the best borrowing and lending app in all of crypto, and Kamino will aim to take on that, but Aave is the GOAT at present. So these things, they tend to rhyme, not repeat, meaning if you just have something similar, it's not necessarily going to bring in that same liquidity. And of course, there's been many years that have gone by, so Kamino can change their tokenomics, what they would have, compared to, say, Aave's actual tokenomics, and things can get better and better. At the end of the day, you've got one major goal, and that major goal is you want the actual dApp to be profitable. That's your first goal. The second goal, of course, is if the token holders have a reason to hold the token, that is a major achievement. So what am I actually going to do? I'm going to go and stake my Kamino, and I'm going to go and actually provide some liquidity. So we'll go and stake. We won't stake very much, maybe like 1,500, nothing too crazy. I mean, I don't have much, right? Stake some there. I don't have much in this tutorial wallet. Then when governance kind of comes into play, we'll go over that as well. But for now, we don't have anything to worry about there. Then we're going to provide liquidity. We've got just Kamino and JitoSol. The DEX I'm using is Orca. I would have loved it if it was in Meteora, because then we're getting the MET points as well. So I'm going to deploy to here, and I'm hoping that in no time at all, they have a Meteora actual vault. So I don't have any JitoSol. Easy fix, of course. If we go put all that in, we only need like $90 worth. So just to save a bit of time, USDC, just go and grab some USDC and go and grab some JitoSol. I'll grab like $90 worth, review and swap. If this happens to you, it's annoying and it shouldn't happen. And I don't know why it's actually happening, to be perfectly honest. Let's try it again though. You can always change your slippage up here, but in no way should we be anywhere near that. Let's do 100. Let's try this again, review and swap. We should have some JitoSol shortly, and then we're going to plonk it into this position. Now, the great thing, in my opinion, with having a liquidity position that is with two assets that you're long-term bullish on, as opposed to, say, Kamino and USDC, is if one gets sold, what you get in return is the other one that you like. If this gets sold, you get Kamino. The other thing is, whenever we're actually working out a liquidity position, our goal is, of course, to outperform whatever impermanent loss could potentially be. And we have no way of knowing if that's actually going to be the case. I'm going to deposit this all. It's not going to be very much, but we're going to do it anyway. Impermanent loss is always a risk. You can do the protocol documentation quiz. That's all very well and worthwhile. And also, I've got a tutorial on Kamino. I've got plenty of tutorials on Kamino. So a little bit of Sol. This is just for like the token rent. We'll confirm, we'll add this in, and then we're just going to let this print some fees, basically. We can see that the vault will receive 500,000 Kamino, which is nothing crazy. Like, let's just work out exactly what that is. $21,000, nothing crazy. And then we'll also get 20,000 JTO. Let's have a look at that. So JTO is the governance token for Jito, and that's $61,000. Now, I think probably the plan was that there'd be approximately maybe 60, 50 grand worth of each, but the price of Kamino has actually gone down. So let's go back here. We'll put it in here. We'll be able to check on our position, and in the future, we'll be able to have a look and see the analytics, and we'll see how in a few weeks time and then a month's time, how we actually did compared to just say hodling. At 4 cents, I do feel like Kamino is kind of low. It's a little bit too low, meaning that's probably going to be the safer bet to actually just hodl it. But in this early time when people are claiming, this will give us a good chance to actually accrue some fees, I think. So that's what I'm doing. One final thing that I will add is the incentives APY for getting some JTO and some Kamino. I mean, this is probably valid right now. Sometimes Kamino's, let's see if we can see anything. Sometimes they actually do have like the APY goes way out of whack and it shows something crazy, especially in the early days. However, I think this would be accurate because there's not a lot of liquidity here. I mean, $42,000 worth of actual liquidity, TVL, and not everything's actually going to be getting those rewards. Anyway, we're not going to worry about any of that. Just right now, if you want to jump in here, maybe if you're going in with $1,000 or something a little bit more decent, just once a week or once every couple of days, go and claim your rewards. And then you've got two options. You can either just keep them and maybe you want to go and stake your Kamino, or if you don't want to do that, then what you can do is, of course, you can just sell them back into Kamino and JitoSol and just compound the position. I'll also add, if you go and stake your Kamino tokens, so you can stake them in here, if you do nothing else, if you're not providing any liquidity or anything like that, then you will not get an actual boost on points. You need to be using the DApp first. And we'll see how this all goes, but if you have further questions, drop them in. When I've got a decent number of questions, I'll do another video. Thanks so much for watching. That's Kamino. I'm bullish on it. What are your thoughts?